Hey everybody, Sister Fantastic here, and welcome to today's video. Today we're going to continue on with part 3 of the how-to series, and it was suggested by some that I teach on how to apply foundation. And so there's 3 basic ways to apply foundation. One is with a brush, and another one is with the sponge, and the other one is with your fingertips. And so today my skin prep includes the Mario Badescu skincare facial spray with aloe, adaptogens, and coconut water, and I did this as a toner. And then I went in with the Volition Snow Mushroom Water Serum to hydrate the skin. And then I applied the LYS Think Bright Glow Hydrate Serum, which brings a really nice glow to the skin, and it preps the skin for the foundation. And then I went in with the Kinship Eye Brightening. It's called Bright Wave Energizing Brightening Eye Cream. And so I'm going to apply a little bit of sunscreen. I've got the Kinship Self-Reflect Probiotic Moisturizing Sunscreen with zinc oxide broad spectrum SPF 32. And there's what that looks like. And this has got a little bit of a tint to it, but anyway, I wanted to show you this because it does add a little bit of color to the skin, but it is a mineral sunscreen, and so it's going to sit on top of the skin and mix in with the foundation. So I wanted to share that with you. But anyway, it's definitely that time of year when you have to make sure that you apply your sunscreen. Okay, just a tiny bit more for the forehead and down the bridge of the nose. This is where I burned first. It's right here on top of the forehead. And then don't forget your ears. And then of course my nose and my cheeks. And I burn pretty easy, so 30 minutes out in the sun and bam. So, but SPF 32 will do the trick for me. Okay, now the foundation that I want to use today is this one from LYS. It's one of my favorites. It's a Triple Fix Serum Foundation. It's pretty lightweight, but I do believe that it's going to show you what I need to show you today. So I'm going to put a couple of pumps on the back of my hand just to make sure I have plenty here to work with. And we're going to start with a brush. And this one that I like to use is a flat top from Purcosmetics. And I'm just going to dab into it around the edges of the brush just to kind of coat those bristles just a little bit at the bottom. And I'm going to go in on this side first with the brush just so you can see. And this is the shade LN3, which is a light neutral 3, and it's got pretty good coverage. I really like it. So I'm going to do the cheek and down on this side. And I'm going to leave the forehead and the chin and the nose for another type of application. So this brush right here will help the serum foundation apply evenly, and which is what you want. You want thin, even layers. And you can always build it up, so if there, like, see a little bit of redness right there, I can always just like tap back into that and just go lightly again over that part of my cheek. So I like this foundation. I feel like I'm doing my skin a favor because I'm giving it some skincare along with, you know, the pigment. Okay, so that's one way to apply foundation. And then another way to apply foundation is with the sponge. Now this is my LYS sponge, and I'm going to use it for this side of the face. And then you can hopefully see the difference. This is, it soaks up more of the product, but it gives a lighter application. And you're actually pouncing it into the skin, where with a brush, you know, you have to work it in with the bristles. But this right here, you know, if as you sit and work on it, it actually penetrates and melts in to the skin. I mean, it melts into the skin with a brush too, but this is gonna melt a lot easier because it is a lighter application, especially if you have a damp sponge. A damp sponge, it's going to give like an airbrushed effect, you know. So if you've got a medium coverage foundation and you're using a damp sponge, it's probably going to give you a light kind of a finish, and you're going to see you can see my freckles and stuff peeking through, and so you'd have to like build it up. And so let me just grab some more here, and we'll just hit this area to kind of build it up. It's a beautiful day here in Savannah. I think it might be getting ready to rain, I'm not sure. So anyway, this is really the lightest form of coverage right here, especially with a damp sponge. If you want a bit of a, you know, you can use a dry sponge like what I'm doing. So I'm going to go ahead and get the bottom part of my ear and take this down on my neck. Okay, now the third way to apply foundation is with your fingers. And so I'm just going to take my fingers and I'm just going to dab this across my forehead and down my nose and the center of my face, the T-zone. And this is where you're going to get the heaviest coverage, the most the payoff on the pigment. And so, and I used to apply my foundation like this all the time, but nowadays, I mean, if I do, I have to, you know, make sure and take a wipe or go wash my hands in the bathroom, because that foundation is going to be on your skin and it will get all over your other makeup products as you touch them. But I really like this for the T-zone area especially, you know, because it's going to sink into those pores and fill those pores, and, you know, just give you better pore coverage, you know. No pun intended, but P-O-R-E, better coverage for the pores. Okay, and then so we see here that, I mean, this is a pretty pigmented foundation and it's pretty full coverage, and I had 2 pumps. So you can see that I had plenty in those 2 pumps for all 3 ways of applying it. And even here on my forehead, you can see that there's a pretty good amount of pigment. Now, different foundations with different finishes are going to do different things. I'm going for like a luminous type finish today, so that's why I chose this particular foundation. But especially a matte finish, you're going to see a more opaque, you know, coverage. Fuller coverage foundations are going to give you that, it's like a heavier, more opaque, the pigment's going to be more opaque. So what you want to look for is those thinner foundations with quite a bit of pigment. So anyway, and then, you know, if you feel like that's not good, you know, you want to get that into the skin even more, you know, you could just take like a dry sponge and just pounce it in. But just keep in mind that that's going to absorb some of the product. So anyway, in an effort to get everything to look the same, since I showed you all the ways to apply it, I'm just going to go over the face with this sponge here. and just pounce everything in. And then I can go in with concealer and, you know, all the other products. So I like this foundation really well. I thought it was good to demonstrate with because it responds differently, you know, with different types of applications. And I'm going to use this sponge again. Just to try and even everything out, since I already showed you the 3 ways to do it. Because I am doing a makeup look today in a separate video, so I wanted to show you this. Well, hi! Sweet Pea just came to sit at my feet. That's so sweet. Okay, so from here, you know, you can go on with other cream products, your concealer, if you want to use a cream bronzer, cream blush, or whatever. And then of course you've got, you know, there's some foundation already in your sponge or in your brush, which you can help, you know, melt all that in. And then once you're finished with all that, you can set everything down, and that gives you an all day, you know, flawless finish on your makeup. So really that's all I can think of at the moment. If you have any questions, you know, feel free to ask down in the comments. I'm going to continue with this series for, you know, as long as you guys want to see things. You know, if you want me to do one on eyebrows, you know, like how to do your brows, how to shape your brows, you know, just if you want to talk more about bronzer and blush, you know, how to use cream bronzers and blush on top of a foundation that isn't set yet, you know, I can do that. Just let me know down in the comments what you want to see, and we'll continue with this series. But anyway, I hope that helped. It's a pretty blank canvas at the moment, and I am very fair complected, and this, you know, shade of foundation evens out my skin to help match my neck, you know, which is what I'm going for. Okay, that's it for me today, you guys. Have a great day. God bless you today is my prayer, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.